lefse steak and the cultural significance of lefse making tradition. My name is Nuland and I'm a student at Luther College. I'm joined today by my classmate Hannah Tepley, and together we will be exploring the importance of this beloved Norwegian-American tradition.
Hello, I am also a student at Luther College, and in this podcast we've had the pleasure of interviewing Gary Legwold, an author and expert in the art of lefse making. Later we'll share some of his insights, including his experiences with lefse and why preserving this cherished tradition is so important. Traditions like lefse making have a unique way of bringing people together, connecting families and friends across generations and cultures. In Norwegian history, lefse making has become a cherished food tradition, often accompanied by the quest to create the perfect lefse. Among the essential tools for this process is the lefse stick, like the one displayed here. In our research and interview with Mr. Legwold, who has a collection of lefse sticks, we've determined that this particular stick is most likely made of cedar wood. Lefse sticks are typically crafted from hardwoods to prevent wear and tear during repeated use. They generally come in two lengths, with the most common being 24 inches long and with a width of 7/8 of an inch. It is also thin and sword-like. The primary function of the lefse stick is to carefully lift and flip the delicate lefse rounds on the griddle. Since lefse rounds are typically about 14 inches in diameter, the stick needs to be long and sturdy enough to prevent tearing and damaging the dough during the process. Many lefse sticks feature decorative handles, often with carvings or painted details, but this one is plain. The simplicity could suggest that it was intended for everyday use by family, or that the maker favored a more practical design.
So this lefse steak that we have on our hand currently is from Vesterheim Museum, and it was made by Prince Knarvik, a carpenter from West Agder, Norway, who immigrated to Brooklyn in 1920s. He made this for his wife Rose, who also came from West Agder. The couple kept close ties to Norway, and later they returned back home, while their son kept this lefse steak as a sentimental of his parents and their love for lefse. Lefse steak like these that we have are used to lift and flip the delicately lefse around on the griddle, and it is an essential tool in the Norwegian tradition.
So, what do you think is the most important in preserving the lefse tradition? You've written 2 books on lefse, The Last Word on Lefse and Keep on Rolling. What is the main takeaway from your books on this tradition?
They're all about preserving this great tradition of lefse making. I went around with all of my lefse books, I went around the upper Midwest mostly and interviewed lots of expert lefse makers. They told me tips, they told me stories, and I put them in these books. And again, the idea is to preserve lefse making. I had no idea how passionate people are about lefse, and that has supported the sales of my books and my lefseking.com business. They're really excited about lefse because it's, number one, a good food. It's, very tasty. It's festive, and there's a lot of associations with the family. Everybody remembers their grandmother making them, or maybe they helped mom make it, or aunts and uncles, and they turn off the TV and they just enjoy talking and laughing and making lefse. And then you pick up a grill or a lefse rolling pin or a stick that was handed down from grandma, and suddenly you touch that handle and there's a instant memory of her holding that handle. And so it's a great tradition, and it's still going on.
Lastly, I would like to ask you, if you were to explain the importance of lefse steak and lefse tradition to someone who is unfamiliar, what would you say, or what would you tell them?
When it comes to Christmas, for example, I am very grateful that I have this unusual tradition of making lefse. My holidays are not just making some mashed potatoes and turkey and turning on a football game. They are something that I gather the family, we make lefse, we have lefse, we pray over lefse, but it adds, it enriches that moment to have this food that is backed by so much tradition, and that my grandkids have this connection with me that they get a look at me as I do this and how I do this and the care I take in doing it, and they pick up on that, and so that is passed on to them. How they handle it is up to them, but they are not part of the Norwegian tradition, but they have picked up something that is me, that is unique to me, and they will carry that. And I can tell you, they go to school and they'll talk about lefse, and people say, well, you don't look Norwegian, how do you know about lefse? And then they'll talk about me, and then people say, oh, that's cool. And they don't make fun of them or anything like that. They actually admire them for having this food, this connection to me that expands their horizons and makes them appreciate other people.
Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of lefse making traditions and the significance of lefse stick. Today we explored how this lefse stick tool connects generations, preserves memories, and serves as a link to Norwegian heritage.
From our discussion with Mr. Legwold, we've learned that lefse is more than just a festive food. It's a way to bring families together, share stories, and carry forward meaningful traditions.
We hope this inspires you to explore your own family traditions and celebrate them. Thank you.